I don't think that men need to not cry. I just don't think you need to cry at every single thing that bothers you. I don't think you need to cry because someone called you a name. This is when men often cry.
My club's for closers.
I want to kind of warn people before, usually these closing segments are branded by some fans, Crowder closes, and so now we use that on YouTube. Thank you for the idea. But I want to warn anyone there who is having a good time. I don't want to ruin your day. This one is a little bit sad, hopefully helpful. So, if you need to grab some time or come back to this later. 3, 2, there you go, spoiler alert. I know I talked about this on social media this week, that Hopper, of course, who you know, and Hopper has been on the show quite a bit, was diagnosed with cancer, lymphoma cancer. So it's been a very hard week for us. It is, listen, here's the thing. I've gone back and forth whether I should even talk about this, because we don't know. He could live a longer time. He's a 10-year-old dog, and he may not. Depends on how he responds to treatment, depends on how aggressive it is. And it was a real roller coaster ride because we got this on Friday, this news. And then we went to the oncologist and they said, hey, we actually don't think that's what it is. And so we felt so good, like a weight was lifted. And then we found out yesterday that is what it was. And they said maybe it's not the moving cancer, and it's the fast lymphoma cancer. And I know it's always a cop-out where people try to talk about it. And I just want to talk about things so people don't feel alone. But I do know with millions of listeners out there, people are tuning in. There are probably people going through a similar situation. I want to be clear about something here. Lived a charmed life. It's not lost on me, okay? I want to make sure that I understand that. I'm not equivocating, losing a dog. And by the way, he may not. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how long he's going to be here. But I did feel that since he's been an active part of the show, that I owed it to you to talk about this now. And when it does happen, when he's not with us anymore, we're not going to do another closing segment. I wanted to talk about this now so that you didn't feel lied to. Because I know that Hopper out there has 20, 30,000 followers on Twitter. We don't even know who runs that account. And by the way, whoever runs the Hopper accounts out there, obviously, when the final chapter is written, I appreciate if you just kind of close it down, just because I don't want to have to look at that. So I understand that someone who's been through something like this, saying it's the hardest thing that they've been through. They've lived a very charmed life. This has absolutely been the hardest thing that I've ever experienced. And I try to be honest as I can with you. These last 2 years have been some of the hardest in my life. And this is the hardest thing I've been through. I've lost relatives. I've lost friends. I've had friends who were taken too young. I know this doesn't compare to losing children. My dad had melanoma, and I know it doesn't mean that I don't love my father more. It doesn't mean that I understand the value of human life is greater than a dog. That's not it. But Hopper is, outside of my wife, the living being on this earth that I gave more of myself to than any other person on this planet. My best friend is dying. And there's no more honest way to express it. I don't know. I know this is the kind of, you know what?
I don't like it.
Someone will take that and turn it into a meme. See, I don't, you know what? I'll walk away from this before I ever actually have to feel ashamed of the fact that I'm emotional over losing a good friend. And I know it'll be used against me. I know that'll turn into a meme. Whatever. And I've talked about this. I don't think that men need to not cry. I just don't think you need to cry at every single thing that bothers you. I don't think you need to cry because someone called you a name. This is when men often cry.